Hello and welcome to This Is Austin.
Yes.
Do you have a big old glass of water in front of you right now?
I have a fake plant.
Perfect, because I'm gonna give you the hard pill to swallow.
It's a little too big, but okay.
You need to stop buying desktop PC components right now.
Well, you're trying to tell the gamers to not rise up?
No, I'm telling the gamers to rise up in a different direction and go and buy yourself a nice gaming laptop.
Okay, so the main gist of this video, as you furiously dislike the video and hate on us for telling you not to buy that sweet new RTX 3070, is this. Right now, if you were trying to purchase gaming grade hardware, right? If you already have a desktop, if you are already gaming on it, you just want to grab a new GPU and everything else the same, sure, right? But if you want to get on board with gaming, you're gonna start fresh, you want to buy a new system, a gaming laptop actually makes a lot of sense. And right behind that is buying a pre-built gaming desktop, which in a lot of cases costs similar to the price of the graphics card. We were able to purchase an RX 580 system for like $700 recently, which is about what that card goes for. Of course, this is like a Ryzen system with everything else. There are a couple of other things that we are working on right now that we got like a 3080 out of a pre-built system. Like
that was still several $1,000s to get that 3080.
But basically the price of a pre-built is oftentimes similar to the price of just the graphics card by itself. So in theory, you could buy that graphics card and flip the rest of the component. I digress though. Gaming laptops have actually not really been marked up anywhere near as much.
Well, because it's a totally different market. There's a bunch of reasons why there's shortage of GPUs. We'll go into the one that's not in gamer control, and that's the shortage of memory on those cards.
Well, it's not just the memory, it's also just the fabbing capability of creating the chips, right? There's a worldwide chip shortage right now, which affects everything from car manufacturers to GPU companies, right? And it is difficult, expensive, and hard just to get your hands on these GPU dies in the first place, right? Everyone is fighting over those same foundries, those same fabs. They're creating chips for literally all of the gadgets in our life.
And that's out of our control, everything like that.
Yeah, it will sort itself out, right? But it's one of those things that is going to be a long-term, like these things come and go in big ways. It's not like, you know, Samsung and TSMC flip the switch and start cranking out 5 times more GPUs. Like, it takes a while to ramp these things up.
The difference is between the desktop and the laptops, no one's sitting there mining on a gaming laptop.
Don't give them ideas, Matt.
People aren't fighting to buy 20 3080s to go build a mining rig. They don't have the same demand as the laptop. How many people went and sold their 2080s for dirt cheap so they could, I'm gonna get a 3080, I'm gonna get a 3070, and then they haven't been able to get a system since.
And then those old GPUs, to be fair, are also
still going
expensive.
for, like, do you know that a Radeon 7 is going for $1,100?
Like more than it was brand new a year and a half ago?
So, like, there's the aftermarket for these has just exploded because, again, the demand is so high for desktop things, where I get it, you want to have your nice, well-lit, RGB clean setup, but if you have to spend double, triple the price of the rest of your system,
doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. You know what does make sense? Buying a 3070 or 3080 laptop for less than the cost of the rest of your PC, putting it in a dock, you still can use your great monitor. So
again, I feel like this whole conversation really keeps coming up because we've been working on so many videos for the main channel on a lot of these different topics, right? So one of the things we're working on is this exact question, right? Of how much can you get a laptop for versus a desktop? Still working on the video, so obviously stay tuned. But one of the gists of it is there are a lot of very good gaming laptops out there for $1,000 to $1,500, right? And laptops over the last, I would say definitely 3 to 5 years, have gotten a lot closer to desktops, right? Not too long ago, a gaming laptop, a lot of people looked at it and go, oh, that's, you know, inferior. That's sort of like, it might be branded as an 880M or whatever, but it was clearly a much like sort of weaker sort of GPU, and it was a much weaker system. That's not really the case anymore. You look at these systems with the latest 5000 series Ryzen processors, sure, they're going to be a little slower than the Ryzen you might get on a desktop, but in a gaming sort of context, still very powerful. You look at like the 3060, the 3070, and even the 3080 laptops, yes, they are not as powerful as those equivalent cards on the desktop, but they're fairly close. And when you put the price factor in there, where you can buy an entire, like, fairly solid 3060 laptop for $1,300 to $1,500, and a 3060 by itself can cost you over $1,000 by itself, that price to performance does not make sense.
And let's be real, you guys are just playing Among Us with it anyway, so...
No, well, people are also mining, which is something we should. I know you're giving everyone ideas to mine on their netbooks, but
I was looking through eBay on all the different cards, and for one, it's a crapshoot because a lot of them have been used to mine.
Yes.
And so, like, if you buy a 3080 and you're like, oh, this 3080 is a deal at $2,000 right now, chances are that thing was mined 24/7 for the since it came out.
Yeah.
And now they're like, okay, well, we'll flip it because they realize it's not as profitable
And
or
the
whatever.
thing is, you can buy, like, so there's a reason why people are buying a lot of these graphics cards at $2,000, $2,500, $3,000, and that's because they actually can sort of be profitable, right? Not that we're condoning buying this hardware, but you can certainly make money even on these very, very inflated prices, right? Which is a problem because typically, right, so when there was the original mining boom, like 2016, 2017, there was a huge flood as soon as it ended, because of course, let's not forget, this is not a permanent thing. People who are buying all of this stuff are scalpers who are trying to flip it, or miners who are trying to make their profit now, right? As the GPU market gets better and better, these cards will flood into the market, right? So I think one of the things to keep aware of is that last time there was this flood of cards that were, at the time a year or two old, but had clearly been mined. But the performance is actually still okay. Like, sure, I might not trust that card to last 7 years or whatever.
The long-term investment of it. If you buy a used mining card, don't expect to get 7-8 years out of it.
Yeah, someone has used a lot of that life. But the difference is, before when this happened, this huge flood of GPUs hit the market, but they actually were a pretty good deal because they had to, obviously the prices were very low because there's so many of these GPUs hitting the market, and the performance was basically the same. It was slightly lower, but you weren't losing that much. However, with these newer cards, right? So people were buying, 30 series and even 20 series cards to mine with. The thing is, these latest generation cards have the clock speed so high up and they're so hyper tuned to live in those boost frequencies that, it's the GPU's getting absolutely everything it can. But the problem is that over time, and as these cards are being used more and more, they're losing performance at a much higher rate, right? So as a few years ago, if you would have bought a 2-year-old card, it might be 5% slower, but some of these like 3070s, 3080s and stuff that you might purchase in the next couple years that are mined, they could be losing significant performance. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see, but there are a lot of like downsides to buying any of these cards right now above retail, or even buying the used cards over the next few years. Like, we're gonna be dealing with this for a while.
And there's a little bit more complex, and it's all bad news, by the way. It's just like nothing. We don't have any silver linings to give you to this right now, because if you remember a couple months ago, we had done a video on why your GPUs were going to get more expensive, and this is before the mining boom.
Yeah.
So now you have retailers looking at these systems saying, wait, why am I selling this at MSRP and getting a small piece of that pie, when the guy who I'm buying it from is going to go on eBay, he's going to put it there for $1,000, $2,000 over MSRP, and then he's making all the profit.
Yeah.
So that's when you're going to start having your retailers, like, I don't know, Best Buy or whatever, who are going to go on there and say, all right, well, I'm going to sell it a little over MSRP because for you, the consumer, that's still a good deal compared to what the scalper is charging.
And that will discourage scalpers, right? If I'm a scalper and I buy something for $2,500 and I can only sell it for a couple $100 more than that, I might still do it, but there's less incentive there. There's actually a really similar analogy in the Pokemon card space. Surprise, surprise, Austin's talking about Pokemon cards in yet another This Is video. But right now what's happening is, it's actually similar to the GPU in that you can't get your hands on cards at retail really right now, right? Because pretty much any pack of Pokemon cards, box, whatever you want to call it, is going to be worth more than the retail price. There's such an imbalance on the supply and demand that there's a lot of incentive if you are a scalper to go out and buy, line up in front of Walmart on Friday morning at 7 a.m., go buy as many as they'll let you get, turn around and flip them on eBay for double the money. What we're seeing here is that, while not so much for the Walmarts and the big box retailers of the world, but if you want to go to your local card shop, what you're seeing is a lot of those local card shops, they buy the cards from distributors. The distributors, just like you were saying before, why are we letting everyone else get all the profit? So what you're seeing is the Pokemon company says, hey, this is worth $40. The distributor goes, okay, we're selling you this for $60. The card shop goes, hey, we're selling this to you at $90 or whatever, right? So people are making their money all up and down. Now, the same thing will fix it though, right? It's supply and demand. Like, a lot of people think the GPUs and Pokemon cards and PS5s are all going to be scalped forever. But the only reason that scalping works is when there is a huge imbalance between the supply of the thing, how many things that you can actually get your hands on, whether that's a manufacturing issue or people just have a lot of demand, or it's the straight up regular demand, right? And people want the stuff and they can't make enough to supply.
Again, hard pills to swallow. People who are buying these things at scalped prices are just fueling the scalpers right now. It's hard to say, like, okay, no, you're just not going to get a 3090 right now, or you're not going to get a 3080 right now. Like, if you say, well, I have the money and I can go do it, you're just kind of contributing. And as soon as scalpers see, yes, someone will still pay this price, they're going to keep doing it.
Yeah.
Now, if we all collectively, which will never happen, said we're just gonna stop, we're just not gonna buy these.
It's gonna take a while, right? Like if you were considering buying a new gaming PC right now, you have a couple of options. Number one, if you're able to get something at MSRP, do it, right? Like literally any graphics card that's not a GT 710 that you can get at MSRP right now is a good deal. If you want to sell it, you want to be a scalper, sure, whatever. But also just to get your hands on it, right? Like that's not a difficult decision. If you see something, instant buy, right? Beyond that, you can look to purchase a pre-built desktop, right? Some of these are actually pretty decent pricing. Even if you only want to buy it for the graphics card and you want to flip the rest of the system, it's not a crazy idea right now. The third or fourth option, whichever one I'm on right now, would be, surprise, surprise, the title of this video. Buy a gaming laptop, stupid. Sorry, I don't mean to call you stupid. You're very handsome, very attractive. You're an incredibly intelligent, and your eyes, I think, really kind of give me some sort of questionable feelings inside. But I love you, dear viewer, and I'm so happy that you love us too so much that you've subscribed and rang-a-lang the dang-a-lang bell. However, when it comes to buying a gaming system in 2021, I really do think that there is an excellent argument to purchase a gaming laptop. You're getting performance which is so much better than older gaming laptops. If you don't want to use it as a laptop, guess what? You still can just dock it like you said.
Here's the thing. Looking at like high-end last generation gaming laptops, 2080 laptops, those aren't that bad right now. It's definitely cheaper. But then there's still good ones like the Zephyrus G14, which
amazing laptop.
Starts it with a 3060. That's what, like $1,400?
You can get a 3060 Zephyrus G14 for about $1,500 right now, but it's got like 1 terabyte SSD, Ryzen 9, like the whole deal.
Yeah, it's a really, really good laptop for the price. And again, it's cheaper than pretty much any GPU that you're going to be getting aftermarket. And again, I'm a big proponent of docking my laptop. I like having only a laptop. I don't like having a desktop because I can't take it with me.
Sure.
As soon as I dock it, I just dock it behind my monitor. Guess what? I feel like I have a desktop.
Yeah.
So,
and then, if all of these options sound terrible, Matt, if you're like, I don't like any of the things that I proposed 17 minutes into this is video, then may I suggest a little thing called patience. It's a difficult one to take advantage of, my friends, but things will get better. I think that what we're seeing right now is an absolute worst case scenario of a bunch of factors that have made graphics card pricing completely and totally insane in a way that we have never seen before. But it will get better. If you can wait it out, if you can keep using your GTX 760 for another 6 months or something, then you might just be able to get an upgrade which is not going to cost you a literal organ.
Here's I think the best example of we are in the worst case scenario. Razer has their 3080 laptops that are coming out, which Razer's always been a pricier laptop.
Sure.
Which, I mean, I like them because the build quality is amazing.
Yeah.
But everyone always says they're expensive, they're expensive. They are still cheaper for their maxed out 30 it's like $3,300 for their max, like their top level 3080 laptop.
Yeah.
That is still cheaper than buying a 3080 system right now.
Yeah, because you can sell. I've seen 3080s on eBay for like $2,800 to $3,000, which is stupid. I'm just saying a lot of stupid right now because everything in this situation is stupid.
It is. It's like if you try and justify the price of a 3080 right now in this climate right now, you don't have a valid argument.
The only thing is, the only people who are buying these things at such ridiculous prices are really minors, though, right? Like I don't think very many normal gamers are spending $3,000 on a 3080.
Most normal gamers can't afford it.
Even if you could, you shouldn't, because that's
right.
That's like me buying Evolution's booster boxes at $1,500 each, knowing that they're going to come down at some point when people come to their senses.
I've watched him do it. I've watched him.
I did not. How dare you libel me like that?
I've watched him do it.
I did not do that specific thing. I've done other stupid things to Pokemon cards. I'm not going to do that. Anyway, let us know what you think in the comments below. Should you buy a gaming laptop? Should you go stand in line at your friendly local micro center and try to grab something at MSRP? Or should you exercise a little thing called patience? Let us know. Ring-a-ling the ding-a-ling bell. Subscribe to This Is. And we will catch you next time when we let you know about the next impending tragedy to the technological space in the year 2021.